What's up, everybody? I'm going back to this used camping store because I spoke to, first of all, I spoke to an RV repair guy. Good, nice guy from Kentucky. He said, only way to replace this thing would be $400 some to replace the whole damn thing. Then I got to talking to some RV people from Facebook, and we were talking, and this old man reached out to me, really nice guy. In fact, he befriended me, and we're now friends. Too bad that I'm leaving this Indiana state because I didn't know he was literally an hour away from me. But anyway, he said you wouldn't believe the things that you could put together and make it work. So, that being said, I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and I am pondering if I should just buy one or two different types of foot pedals and try to see if I can fix it myself, because not having water is not fun at all. Oh boy. I mean, I manually got to go out and empty the shitter, if that makes sense. We can't even wash our hands with warm water because the water's off, and so we have to use bottled water. Now, the last couple of days in the great state of Indiana, it's been so cold that shit's been freezing. Shit that you don't wish to freeze. But yeah, my furnace and all that's working great again. I don't know, it's like when it gets really, really cold, the propane just doesn't want to work. But bless the hearts to the next owners of this camper, because I told them, you got to insulate, and I mean good, in and out. But that's what we're looking at, giving the camper to new owners, because I don't have $2,000 to pull it to where I'm going. So not only am I out on selling the camper at a real low price, and I mean low, I don't even want to talk about it because it gets me mad. I guess the benefit of is getting cash for what you're entitled because you think gift. What insane person would give a gift like that? See, that's the thing with me. And multiple people, not just me, people with learning disabilities, people with autism, ADHD, people used to call it Asperger's back in the day. I was called mentally retarded when I was going to school in first grade. Okay? I remember when I was a baby, they said I had cerebral palsy. No, that's not true, but that given said, my brain does not function like your brain who might be watching this video right now. I need people to understand what autism is and what neurodivergent is and what ADHD is, and understand all of that. And the fetal alcohol syndrome. Like I said, I was told when I was pregnant in my mother's stomach, she drank alcohol. I don't know too much about this stuff. This is just stuff I'm all discovering. And I've had a person on TikTok who is a licensed psychiatrist and grief counselor and all those things into one. And they're helping me through this process and understanding me for me. So I explained, I sent a couple of videos, even the video of me before I made that phone call for help in New York. And I sent her a bunch of links, and she's going through them all. And she said, first of all, Michelle, please do not apologize of how you communicate. It's the people like me who understand what you're trying to say. But it's the bad part where the people who do understand what you're trying to say, but they take advantage of it. If that makes sense. And that's clearly what happened. I should have never became a people pleaser, and I'm wishing everybody who watches this video, don't become a people pleaser. You don't have to say yes just because. And the fact that this person keeps saying because I helped, well, no kidding. I called y'all for help. He looked right in my face and said, I wouldn't ask for anything from you, money or anything. So then that was a lie. Like, it didn't matter my situation, literally, where me and my daughter almost something happened to us because we were frozen inside the camper the one day during the ice storm, and I had the stove on, and that's not good to do. That's poison gas. It's not healthy for you. I couldn't even get the windowsill to open the one night. But anyway, given that situation and my situation, and knowing that that money was used from my house sale and from Anna and Tom dying, my mind was not clearly thinking. This is not $70. This is not something that you just say, okay, here's a gift. A gift is a gift, yeah. Like if you give somebody an air fryer or buy them a microwave, that's a gift. But a $10,000 truck and an over $7,000 camper, I don't think so. And I didn't get in the car to go pick them up either because of my PTSD or my trauma. I cannot just be around toxic people, and I can't get in cars to travel long places because I have PTSD. Now that comes and stems from my childhood too. It's not just from Tom and Anna dying. I could tell you stories where we would be driving on many vacations with our children, and me and Tom would try to get me to do something I didn't want to do. I really don't want to get into all of what he wanted me to do, but let me just say he tried to get me to do things that I just didn't want to do. And sometimes we would get in arguments in the car. Our children would be in the car crying, and I would tell him to pull over because I would need just to get some air, and he would just take off. And have my infant daughter and my two children who were young at the time, my son and Anna and Nate, and he would just take off. I remember half the time I would have to figure my way home, and we're not talking like 20 minutes from the house. A lot of screaming and yelling and cursing and verbal abuse, and that comes from my husband's childhood, his trauma, his PTSD. Am I saying that as an excuse? No, because mental illness is not an excuse. It's something that people have to live with. And for people to judge and throw stones and cast stones for people who do suffer from mental illness and use that against them to tear them down and control them, they're just as evil. And she's posting pictures of a text message, and that text message is exactly when I cut ties off, I believe, and said I had to get away right away. And I was not thinking. And like I said, I don't care if I said 10,000 times they could have the truck. I was not thinking. Michelle Keeler was not thinking clearly. My husband was watching me do that. And my lawyer, he keeps calling me and says, she's calling me and says she's gonna sue you. Well, for me talking about my situation, I've been talking about my situation since Tom and Anna died. The whole bad parts and the good parts and everything that I'm dealing with. It was all okay, sunshines and buckets of rainbows and unicorns when I was going to Texas, and it was okay to talk about it. But because everything has completely changed in my life, where I am fighting to get those two things back, so either I can put it towards my house or figure out what I'm going to do. People need to understand that it's less money for me to get a home too. That money was supposed to be used. I wasn't even going to keep both campers. I was going to keep one for an office space, because that's what I was thinking. After I did buy the two campers, I came to the conclusion that I didn't need to keep both. The whole sole fucking purpose of that truck was to pull my camper. But that's where we're at. Go look at the text. I want you to. Go look at the post. And I want you to have an open mind. And I really don't care for the people that have been following this person and thinking that she's this holy person that can walk on water, because that's what she acts like. And she claims she's a pastor. Pastor wouldn't act like that. A pastor would literally not even accept a large gift like that. And I guarantee you, my lawyer will call me, you're talking about it again. You're not going to get me to stop. So stop calling me to stop talking about it, because I'm not going to stop talking about it until I get justice. And this is justice for my family, because this is my family. This was my house that I sold in New York. A which would have been worth $250,000 home, and I sold it for 200 and some thousand. I sold my home, the home that I lived in with my children and my husband. I gave up. Yeah, I'm screaming. The whole thing was a nightmare to begin with. I owed back taxes. I had to pay attorney fees. I had to pay, of course, the realtor fees. And by the time that all said and done, I'm getting less than $50,000, less than that now, because I had to borrow $3,000 from my lawyer so I could survive during whatever days I had left here. And literally, I saved $2,000 of it. The rest I had to pay for a hotel, gas. I'm getting the oil change tomorrow, so my car can make it to where I'm going. But I've had to lower the price of the camper, and I've literally been awake every night since then too, because it makes me sick. I paid $17,000 for this fifth wheel camper, and I don't even want to tell you all what I'm getting from it. It would make you sick. But, you know, I did look up what the year of the model. I did look up some information online and what they are going for. So, it's a cash deal. I don't mind. Yeah, I might lose out on $6,000 at least. But, hey, what am I going to do? So that's the oral argument that this person has while she's keeping the truck, because I said she could have it, and it was a gift for us helping us. So when that day you came to my house, you lied right to my face, because there was something you wanted out of it. And the Christian thing would be to do, the pastor thing would be to do, is to give the truck back and the camper. My son's staying in the camper right now. I want him to have the camper, so when he's done with it, he can give it back to his mama. I bought another camper. The reason why I bought both campers, just so everybody fucking realizes, because my son came down from New York and he needed a place to stay, because I knew that me and him and Sarah couldn't stay in the same camper. Now I'm wishing I never bought another camper, and I just fucking told Sarah, deal with it. Your brother's going to stay in this camper, and I should have did it then and there. My mistake. Childhood, and you know, it is a thing where she is very angry with her father, you know, and her brother and her did not have the best of relationship. They didn't have the relationship that most brother and sisters do have, where you're really tight, okay? There's some turmoil in there, and that could be fixed, but that's between Sarah and Nate. I know my son, he's a great boy. I love him. He is becoming a very, very well-mannered young man. I feel very bad for him because he's still in Texas, and it is crazy that he still does not have legal representation, and that he's going to be forced to pay court fines and fees when they should be reduced, if not totally discharged, meaning the charge is dropped. So after this phone call, I'm calling my lawyer and telling him We have to do something about this. I thought you talked to what's-her-face and was going to make sure that he got some kind of lawyer. But now I have to do that. But like I said, it is crazy. This whole thing is just crazy. And I cry for him because of how much the fine is. We're not talking about a misdemeanor parking ticket fine, people. From what he told me, I don't know how true it is, but it literally gave me chest pain when he told me how much he has to pay. Isn't it ironic, too, that it's almost like the total amount what he's getting back from the house? And I'm like, well, where's the paperwork? Let me see this. Let me see this paperwork that's telling you that this is the total of the felony charges. Because something is not making sense. And the psychiatrist from TikTok told me to contact Adult Protection Services if I was really concerned, for my son's well-being. And I said, well, I mean, I am concerned, but I don't think it's to that point. But, I don't think they could do anything as far as trying to make sure that my son gets legal representation. Like, he didn't even understand what public defender was, and I had to explain it. And then I want him to, and if you're watching right now, which you're probably watching with them, they're probably making you watch, and I don't care. But anyway, either way, probably not, I don't know. Anyway, son, if you were watching this, I want you to know that I love you. And that you understand there was one thing that I have to agree with your father, and when it came to the Keeler family, he did not allow anybody to fuck with his family. Okay? I never really had that stamina, those balls to do this. But I promise you this, son, I will seek justice for our family and get what back I paid for. It's not right. And I feel bad for all my 2,000 subscribers that have to sit there and listen to this repeatedly. Nobody likes drama, but people need to understand. I think there's a fine line when it becomes drama and real life in my situation, and what I got to deal with. It could have been all over with if this person just would have just did right. Like, it's insane. All right, enough of all that. Hopefully I can find this place soon. I'm going right where the dispensary is, kind of, because that's where this used campground and used camp store they got in this area. So I was talking to this fellow on Facebook, this older man, and he said sometimes you can make things work. So I'm going to buy another one of these that broke off. I literally cannot believe that broke off. If you can see the piece in there, it's broke. But I don't understand why something like this can't be just fixed. Or if anybody knows, how can I turn my water on without it leaking the toilet? Because when that all happened, it was leaking a little, and that's why I had to shut the water off. Four days, and President Trump takes over. Praise the Lord. 4 days, and President Trump replaces the worst president and the worst vice president in United States history. We cannot get any better than this. But I'll tell you what, these confirmation hearings and the things that these Democrats are saying to people like Pam Bondi, John Radcliffe, Mark Rubio. It is insane. It is insanity. Don't we all want to remember 2016 when the Democrats and Hillary Clinton literally said that Donald Trump was working for spies and with Russia, and how that Donald Trump cheated in the election? Yeah, Democrats have been talking smack and shit about fraudulent elections and this and that, and Russia fake allegations and impeachment stuff, and now you got Alan Bragg and Judge Merchant and from New York all fucking with Trump and all this. Anyway, you know, I think it's really hypocritical how these Democrat senators and the shit that they're saying. It blows my mind. I was watching, it's hard to watch them all because it's like they're all doing them all in a row. And I kind of know that's how they do it. Just before the next president takes over, his administration has all these hearings just days before. Well, it's kind of a lot, but anyway, I'm watching them and I'm just like, I'm laughing. And I'm wondering, I'm kind of hesitating now a little bit with Pam Bondi because, you know, she was asked questions and it was kind of like she was like, how do I say this? Kicking the can down the road with the questions. Like, I don't know, like, I think Adam Schiff asked, are you going to go after Jack Smith? Basically, you know, because these Democrats were giving off these names like Liz Cheney, Jack Smith, Judge Merchant, all these names, whatever. If she was going to go after them. And she basically could not just give a straight answer and just say, yes, I'm going to go after them. You better damn well believe it. But she didn't. She kind of like went around it, like got on a Ferris wheel and just went around it a couple times without really answering the question. And why is Adam Schiff even questioning her judgment on these criminals that have been doing, like I just said, nonstop going after Trump? I think it is so funny. Watch them all because it is, you have to watch the Pam Bondi one especially, please. Watch the Democrat senators, people like Adam Schiff, who literally is a criminal, question if she's going to go after the criminals. It's insane. Morning, Mayor. I woke up today, Mayor, and I had this thing on my phone where I could plug in and test my blood pressure. I don't know, I paid $99 for it a while ago. Anyway, I have found it. It was in one of my suit bags. Anyway, my blood pressure was, I never have high blood pressure, and it was skyrocketing. So we are just days away from me leaving Indiana. In fact, I'll be leaving the day of inauguration, so kind of like, I mean, I could watch it on my phone. I was gonna go live, but I think AC's gonna do it, so I'll just join him or something. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna stop here and get a little vape thing before I keep going further. I have 30 singles. I've been saving singles in my glove box. Yes, I'm leaving Indiana. I made a deal with this person that lives on the campground to buy my camper. They are literally gonna pay cash. So yeah, I'm gonna stop here at the smoke shop here. It's not the medical dispensary. That one's a little bit further, I think. I don't know. I haven't really been to that one yet, but I did apply. So I got approved. It didn't. I knew I would. It just didn't. It just didn't take that long. I haven't. But my insurance don't cover it. Yeah. I didn't get what I paid for, though. And I really do feel bad, guys, for me to keep bringing this up. But, you know, like, if I did it, people are going to ask. People are going to ask questions. I've had people on TikTok literally ask me, when am I ever going back live? How come I haven't been talking? When am I going to do the DJ thing again? And look here, it is really hard for me because I can't concentrate, if that makes sense, because I have other things that are on my mind. Literally for the past couple months, I didn't know how the hell I was going to leave Indiana up until a couple week or two ago where I made a plan, a set plan, that is. But yeah, that's my plan. I love you, Missy. If you're ever watching this, thank you so much to you and your husband. I get to see you guys soon. I'm very excited. I get to see Herbert. I should have just did that from the beginning. Go by Herb and Missy. I don't know, because I knew they love me for me. They don't judge me. They don't judge me because of my medical marijuana. They don't judge me because of my autism. They don't judge me because of my disabilities. They just love me for me. And you know what? They accepted Sarah already with an open arms. You know, and I admit Sarah lost her faith. She lost her faith in God. Can she find God in Jesus? Absolutely. And I pray for my daughter every day, every evening, just like I pray for my son. You know, but she should be accepted and loved. I could never walk away from my children. Even if my child fucking was in prison for 20 some years, I would never walk away. I would never take their children from them and be mean about it. Like, I can't even imagine. And I want people to pray for this one woman I know. And it has to, I really, just keep praying for Tiana. She's going through a lot right now. And her daughter was just taken from her. And, you know, I had no problems with this person's mother. And I reached out to her mother. But her mother blocked me. And that's probably because of, well, you know who. So, and this person is related to this person. So she's been trying to encourage me because she knows a lot more, you know, because she's family with these people. But I want you to please pray for her. You know, she's going through a lot. She's very emotional. I can't even imagine having a mother take my own daughter from me under invalid, how do you say grounds? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but invalid reasons. You know, I'm sure it's not easy for any mother to start off. But, you know, I had an open mind after a while, and I thought about it. You know, sometimes parents and sometimes single parents have to do what they have to do, and sometimes that is stay in a hotel for a month or 2 or 3 till they get on their feet. You know, and at least it's a roof over their head, and, you know, they could be in a far worse situation. But I can't imagine not knowing where she's at and where, you know, I can't imagine. So my prayers are out to her. Tiana, if you're watching this, I love you. Don't give up faith. One thing I like about you is that you still, every day, are posting stuff that you haven't lost your faith. So that's good. Alright, guys, I'm going to go in here, and then I got to... See that little piece in there that's cracked off? I got to go down the road and fix this. Yuck. I'm carrying a toilet thingy around. Alright, I'm gonna go in here and get a little thingy. Believe it or not, these vapes and stuff like that, they do help for PTSD and anxiety, but they're expensive. $30. But hey, I need it for my drive, my long drive that I'll be taking. I could go back to smoking tobacco, but once in a while I'll buy one of those tobacco vape things, but I haven't in a while, which I'm glad because those are really bad for you. Anyway, love y'all. I'll talk to you later.